Let's talk of Shakespeare's two long narrative poems. Generally, we talk of his sonnets, and for them he is, of course, more famous. That does not mean that his long narrative poems are of less significance. Shakespeare wrote two long narrative poems along with sonnets. The first of them is Venus and Adonis. It was published in 1593. Venus and Adonis. It's a narrative poem, probably his first publication. Probably, because many of the things about Shakespeare we are not very much certain of. There is a very good movie based on the identity of Shakespeare, a Hollywood movie. One must watch it. Its name is Anonymous. There they deal with the name William Shakespeare, the person who was having that name, the person who exposed himself as William Shakespeare, whether he was really William Shakespeare or not, the kind of confusion that the historians have, that we can have the glimpse of in that particular movie. But one thing that I want to tell you here is, in that movie also, in the movie Anonymous, the first collection, means the poem, the edition that comes for the first time, it is named as Venus and Adonis. Thus, this can be taken as the first ever publication by William Shakespeare. As you know, it is a narrative poem. Narrative means which narrates some story. It narrates the story of Venus. Venus, who was Venus? The person who is acquainted with myths is very well aware of the names like Venus and Adonis. Venus is the goddess of love. She is a Roman goddess. Her Greek counterpart name is Aphrodite. So sometimes people get confused with these two names. So they are similar. One should understand that Venus is there in Roman mythology, whereas Aphrodite is related with Greek mythology. The same as we have in Indian mythology, Rati, the name of the wife of Kamdeva, who is considered to be the god of love. She, means Rati, is considered to be goddess of love, goddess of beauty. She is considered to be the most beautiful lady. So, Venus, it narrates the story of Venus, the goddess of love, of her unrequited love. Unrequited is a very famous term. It's a very, very beautiful term. Unrequited means unfulfilled. Unrequited love and of her attempted seduction of Adonis. Now think about their myths. Here we are having a goddess. She is seducing a handsome person, a handsome young man, extremely handsome young man, whose name was Adonis. So this poem is all about that, about Venus and her unrequited love and the way she seduced Adonis. Interesting information that we can get here is, we have Indian counterpart of Venus whose name is Rati. She is a wife of Kamadeva. But like Kamadeva, the god that we have in their mythology, Cupid, who is considered to be god of love and sex. So Cupid is not the husband of Venus. He is the son of Venus. The name of husband of Venus is Zeus, that is known as Jove or Jupiter. That is about different counterparts in different mythologies. So there were two sons of Venus. One was Cupid, who always carries arrows filled with flowers and row with him. And the second son was Aeneas, Aeneas, Aeneas. About Aeneas you will find in Virgil's work, Virgil, the name of the poet Virgil. He wrote one work, epic you can say, Aeneid, Aeneid, if I'm not wrong. So Aeneas and Cupid, these were two sons of Venus. Now let's talk of something about poem's structure. It's written in sesta rima, S-E-S-T-A, sesta rima, R-I-M-A. As you can be acquainted with the term sesta. Sesta is something related with six. So it's a verse form. So 6 lines are there. Quatrain followed by a couplet. Quatrain means a stanza of 4 lines. Couplet means a stanza of 2 lines. Matching is there. So the rhyme scheme that we have is A, B, A, B, C, C. It means in quatrains we have first and third lines similar rhyming, second and fourth. So A, B, A, B. And then for couplet we have 2 similar rhymes at the end, that is C, C. Thus this poem is written in sesta rima, means in 6 lines with the rhyme scheme A, B, A, B, C, C. And this poem is written in 199 stanzas, means 1194 lines, and they all are in iambic pentameter. You can understand how much long this poem is, 1194 lines. And the iambic pentameter is, the most used meter by Shakespeare. Even when he writes drama, he used this iambic pentameter. If without rhyming it is used, as you know, it is called blank verse. So blank verse is mostly and very frequently used by Shakespeare. Iambic pentameter you will find here in these 2 long poems, as well as in sonnet forms. As we know that when we talk of sonnet, the characteristics of sonnet, one of the characteristics of the sonnet is it is in iambic pentameter, 14 lines, whether we talk of Italian sonnet or English sonnet. When we talk of this particular verse form, that is sesta rima, it was also followed by the poets like Edmund Spenser and Thomas Lodge. Edmund Spenser is a very well known poet of the epic Fairy Queen, in which he talks of Queen Elizabeth, since he belonged to the same period of Shakespeare. Spenser is also called as poet's poet. Thomas Lodge was a dramatist, poet, and interestingly enough, he was a physician as well. Now let's talk of the second poem by William Shakespeare, which is another long narrative poem. It's about the legendary figure Lucretia, Lucretia. This poem begins in media res. In media res, INMEDIARES. That is a Latin phrase. In media res means in between, from middle. This is the characteristics of epic. Epics are generally written from their middle of the story. This poem is of 265 stanzas and 1855 lines. When we talk of these stanzas, 265 stanzas, each are of 7 lines because they all are in rhyme royal form. RHYME, rhyme royal, ROYAL. This is a verse form like sesta rima. Sesta rima is written in 6 lines, and here we have rhyme royal. It is of 7 lines, and the rhyming pattern is AB BCC. So only difference is that of just this B which comes in between AB and CC. So the rhyme scheme is AB CC, and this poem is also written in iambic pentameter. This rhyme royal is also used by Geoffrey Chaucer, John Milton, John Masefield. As you know, Chaucer is famous for his Canterbury Tales and is considered to be morning star of English poetry. He is also considered to be the father of English language because he actually introduced English language and literature. He has the you can say he is considered to be the person who made a dialect into a language. About him, John Dryden says that how he got that dialect. He found and I'm quoting Dryden, he said about Chaucer, he found it brick and left a diamond, unquote. He found it brick and left diamond, means he found it as mid-eastland dialect and ultimately left it as English language. Milton is known for his epics like Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, and one very famous elegy, Lycidas, Lycidas, in which he talks of Edward King, his friend. Edward King was not a king, mind it. His name was Edward King. These two poems, Venus and Adonis and the Rape of Lucrece. After writing them, Shakespeare, in publication, he dedicated it to his patron, Earl of Southampton. You understand patron? Patron, as we have Chandrabardai. Are you aware of that name? Chandrabardai. He belongs to the reign of Prithviraj Chauhan. He used to be there in the court of Prithviraj Chauhan. So he was a poet. Chandrabardai was a poet. He wrote Prithviraj Raso in the admiration of Prithviraj Chauhan. So Prithviraj Chauhan was the patron of Chandrabardai. The similar manner as we have Abul Fazl and Abul Faizi in the court of Emperor Akbar. So Earl of Southampton was patron of Shakespeare. The first poem, Venus and Adonis, he dedicated because he was the patron. The second one, he dedicated him again, and in that he showed his affection towards him. That means he had a very good relation with Earl of Southampton. That's all for today.